Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well, I can tell you this morning that I woke up, and of course the first thing that I do is look for content. Let's take a look at what's going on in the world and see what we could put together. I was expecting to make a couple videos on the Biden administration, maybe some other leftist Twitter nonsense. What I wasn't expecting was waking up and being hit with little Chrissy Cuomo leaked audio tapes, getting 2020-2021 flashbacks back to the good old early Liberal Hive Mind days. But I have to say, while I wasn't expecting to be talking about little Chrissy Cuomo again, I'm not exactly complaining. I get to Photoshop his face for the thumbnail. We're going back to the good old days. Little Chrissy Cuomo is back in the news, and boy oh boy is it a real doozy. We're getting reports that apparently little Chrissy Cuomo, after being fired, threatened to end everyone, including himself, at the CNN office. And I guess, yet again, it's another story, another example of these mainstream media leftist lunatics, these friggin' unhinged sociopaths, and in this case, possibly even psychopaths, showing their true colors. Last week was Don Lemon. This week, it's little Chrissy Cuomo. The duo is back at it again. Let me show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, take a look at this. Chris Cuomo says, "I was going to end everybody, end myself after being fired from CNN." Now, I need to make a little retraction here. In the intro, I incorrectly assumed that it was leaked audio. Little Chrissy Cuomo said this openly on a podcast, publicly, and it wasn't a private audio recording that was released. I assumed that this was an audio leak before even looking into it, because who the hell would say this on the record? Apparently, crazed CNN lunatic Chris Cuomo would. Chris Cuomo revealed that he was having very negative personal thoughts, you know, the S word which we cannot say, and wanted to end everybody after he was fired from CNN. CNN announced in 2021 that the cable network fired host Chris Cuomo effective immediately following an investigation into Cuomo using his journalism contacts to help defend his brother, the former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, when he was facing numerous allegations of SA by female staffers. Cuomo also quit his Sirius XM radio show after being fired from CNN. He is now a host at News Nation. Cuomo made certain remarks during an interview on Anthony Scaramucci's podcast, Open Book with Anthony Scaramucci. Take a look at this.
Accepted. I had to accept because I was going to kill everybody, including myself. Things can consume you. Italians are so passionate. And I really had to fight against that because, you know, just like you did, I got too many people counting on me.
What? Yep, he said that openly, publicly on a podcast, that after being fired, he had to accept it because he was going to end everybody, including himself. Things can consume you. He then goes on to blame it on his Italian heritage. Italians are so passionate, hey. And I really had to fight against that because, you know, just like you did, I got too many people counting on me. So apparently, I guess based on little Chrissy Cuomo's definition of what it is to be an Italian, Italian culture and Italian heritage turns you into a murderous maniac when things don't go your way because, hey, bro, we're so passionate. What the hell am I even listening to? I don't think that's an Italian problem, little Chrissy Cuomo. I think that's a little Chrissy Cuomo unhinged lunatic tantrum quality or tantrum moment. Once again, it's a perfect example of the same people who lecture you every single night on CNN and other networks about what it is to be ethical. You know, the good Democrats who are constantly virtue signaling about how they're such better people than you. It's another example of us seeing their true colors and them showing who they really are. I mean, in little Chrissy Cuomo's situation, it's not exactly surprising though, considering the infamous clip of him reacting to somebody calling him Fredo.
Fredo is from The Godfather. He was that weak brother.
Isn't that your
And
brother?
they use it as an Italian aspersion. Any of you Italian? Are you Italian? It's an insult to your people. It's an insult to your people. It's like the N-word for us.
Or you know that moment where he threatened bodily injury after being confronted while on a bike ride, launching ad hominem attacks at that individual, calling him a fat tire loser or something to that effect.
I don't want some jack loser, fat tire biker to be able to pull over and get in my face and in my space and talk to me. I don't want to hear it.
Chris Cuomo has proved on multiple occasions that he is, in fact, an egotistical, sociopathic maniac, and this is another example to add to the list. And the lack of self-awareness is just astounding. I mean, Chris Cuomo is expecting people to listen to this and be able to relate to him, like, yes, that's a totally appropriate response. Oh, you poor little victim, little Chrissy Cuomo. I mean, what's the guy expecting? Sympathy? As if somehow his dark thoughts are justified? This absolute clown of a human being, night in and night out doing the DNC's bidding, spreading misinformation, lies, absolute garbage, then gets caught in a massive ethics violation, using his contacts and connections in the journalism world to try to protect and defend his brother from SA allegations, gets fired. And instead of accepting the fact that he may have made a mistake, that he screwed up, his immediate response was, I'm going to take everybody's life and then end my own. And we're supposed to sit here listening, yeah, that's real relatable, you know, being Italian and all. That's a perfectly normal response. These media goons are all the same. They're the types of people that you see in reality TV shows. You know, rich Hollywood elitists who treat servers and normal people working as if they're peasants. They're all a bunch of egoist, career-driven, selfish sociopaths who, when they don't get what they want, this is how they react. And they pretend as if it's normal. Hey, it's not just me. It's just my passionate Italian blood. It's not my fault that I treat people around me like they're pretty much dirt. I'm just really passionate. I'm sure that's what Don Lemon's excuse was the other week. I'm sure that's probably what Ellen DeGeneres' excuse was also. The Cuomos, what a group of gangsters. Or probably better yet, wannabe gangsters. Putting on this tough guy Italian New Yorker persona. Him and his brother, two peas in a pod, whether or not they're actually criminals. They're certainly corrupt, they certainly act like criminals. Resorting to intimidation and violence, behind-the-scenes coercion and corruption whenever met with a scandal or any challenge. I don't know, it could be that, or I guess for Chrissy Cuomo, it could just be him roid raging, shooting too much horse testosterone into his buttocks, has the guy losing his mind, turning him into a murderous psychopath. Whatever it is, I honestly don't care. It's just added proof that these people, especially these media goons, most of the time, not all of the time, happen to just be objectively terrible people. Poor little Chrissy Cuomo, what's he ever gonna do? I mean, if you thought his career was over before, well, it's probably even more over now. He's been trying his hardest to make a comeback. The man just refuses to go away. Trying radio, now he's at News Nation. I don't know what it is with these clowns where they just refuse to go away. They refuse to give up. You've already milked millions upon millions of dollars. You probably got hired due to nepotism and connections. Little Chrissy Cuomo should count himself lucky for the position that he was allowed to be in for the time that he was allowed to occupy it. But of course, no, like the rest of these ego-driven, sociopathic lunatics, it's never enough. He needs more and more and more. More adoration, more fame, more riches. It's never enough, and if they don't get what they want, well, then you know exactly what the reaction is. If Chris Cuomo's career was over, well, now it's over. And I can't say I'm surprised, and I certainly can't say that I'm disappointed or really feel any other way. Chris Cuomo got what Chris Cuomo deserved. And this little clip reinforces that. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Of course, we would love to have you here at the Liberal Hive Mind. Feel free to join the community. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.